I was wrong, guys. A year ago, Frontier Development released Elite Dangerous Odyssey, the very long-anticipated expansion pack for one of the then leading games in the space simulation genre. An expansion that delivered Space Lakes, arguably the future update mentioned by the developers that players had been waiting for the most. And the potential was, when you think of it, as enormous as the changes it would eventually bring to the game. At least, this is what I thought. You see, I have been an Elite Dangerous player since the very beginning in 2014, or maybe I should say I was, because it's been a while since I last logged in, and quite frankly, I don't feel like logging back ever again at this point, unless we see some major changes that of course would have to be for the better, and for a while, despite being an original Star Citizen backer from 2012, I did regard Elite Dangerous as the premier game when it came to space simulation. After all, it offered, and I believe still offers, the best flight mechanics there is out there on the market. It has an interesting ongoing storyline with believable factions, and its entire Milky Way is the entire Milky Way is being put at the disposal of players out there. It's quite a feature, and it appeals to the space enthusiast that I am. However, despite Star Citizen failing to deliver on its promises year after year, talking about the period between 2015 and 2018, I still couldn't keep the hype and excitement I originally had with Elite Dangerous, and this was mostly due to the strange decisions made by Frontier Development. Decisions that, in my opinion, were not going toward the right direction, which was to make the game more fun and compelling. Horizon had a lot of potential as well. Planetary landings, it was really exciting and just allowed us to travel in space, but non-atmospheric planetary bodies only as well, allowing us to explore near unlimited terrain, exotic alien landscape, but that was basically it. With those eventually came what I believe was Frontier's biggest mistake: engineers, which allow players to upgrade their ship, which sounds cool. The issue is that the grind requires to access the top modification require a tremendous amount of game time, giving those with enough free time a significant edge over those with limited time, and therefore, what made the difference in a PvP encounter was no longer skill and talent like in Star Citizen, but how long you've played in order to be allowed to unlock the best upgrades from the best engineers. I personally had a problem with that, and I know that another content creator, DG360, formerly known as The Games, also had a problem with that, which is what eventually led him to quit Elite Dangerous and migrate to Star Citizen many years ago already. By the way, DG made fun of me when I praised Odyssey after its release, and quite frankly, now that I think of it, I deserved it, and I'm going to tell you why. You see, from my point of view, Elite Dangerous has been going on a long downward spiral ever since the release of the engineers, and that long spiral downward was further embodied by all that focus on the Thargoids, which in my opinion combined altogether everything I didn't like in the direction they were taking. It had the required timesink of the engineers with very little additional gameplay content. No new mission type, very few new ships, no new ground vehicles. The overall impression I've had was that the patches Elite Dangerous were getting were either plagued by laziness, plagued by a lack of manpower resources, which could have been the reason behind the lack of content, or Frontier was focusing on something bigger, the much anticipated space legs, or the atmospheric landings that were promised all these years ago during the Kickstarter's campaign, when David Brabham eventually talked about the possibilities of the game. This is what kept me playing, this hope that just like we were going to get better days with Star Citizen, we would be getting better days with Elite Dangerous as well. After all, there were these rumors that went on year after year that Frontier was indeed working on something big and perhaps the ability to walk around ships. Clinging on this hope is what kept me in the game. That is why when Elite Dangerous Odyssey was finally revealed with a very nice teaser and a bunch of trailers, I couldn't be more hyped. I returned to the game and played every day once more, engaging in trading, transport missions, and even exploration, something I normally never do in a space game. And then, finally, after a long wait, it came, the Space Leg expansion, with some even unexpected gameplay, FPS combat, just like what Star Citizen had offered for a while already. And at first, I was thrilled. I even made a video singing the praises of the update, explaining how in awe I was with the tiny atmospheres that were now featured after having spent far too many years on airless, barren rocks. I even spent time to master the gameplay and show it off here on this very channel. In fact, I was so thrilled by how far the game had advanced in my eyes. I mean, at last, progress and somewhat exciting new gameplay for people who are not interested in grinding, that I was building up a series of false expectations that would, of course, soon be shattered. I was hoping for new ships. I was hoping for thicker atmospheres with perhaps a hint at something resembling terrestrial planets, and if not, maybe water worlds. I was hoping we'd get an update about the gas giants, which had also been discussed by David Braben at the very start of the adventure, a feature that once again was successfully created by Star Citizen's developers. I was hoping for more ground vehicles and an overall better diversity of vehicles and ships. I was also hoping for ship interiors that we could interact with and eventually call our ships our homes. Alas, none of that happened, and not only that, but the game was plagued by countless annoyances and bugs that overall on the long term proved detrimental to the experience. It's shown Frontier's shortcomings when it comes to developing their games, shortcomings that have been recently confirmed with the cancellation of all further developments for Elite Dangerous on consoles, something that was way overdue to be frank. I mean, these games are so complex and demanding hardware-wise that they should never be on consoles to begin with. Now, instead of new vehicles, better environments, actual progress regarding the game world, or worlds in this case, we had limited ship interiors for carriers, yay, more gameplay aimed at pleasing the hardcore players, but nothing much for the casual people who were enjoying the game. Oh yes, we had one ground vehicle and that was about it. No new weapon, no new scenario for FPS combat, and these are all the reasons why I'm saying that I was wrong about Elite Dangerous Odyssey. This wasn't the update I was looking for. In fact, this made me lose all confidence towards Frontier development. That and their lack of communication regarding their plans for the short and long term, plus the competition in Star Citizen finally taking shape, made me decide to completely abandon the game as spent over 2,000 hours on. How unfortunate. And that's all I had to say about Elite Dangerous Odyssey. I believe that I won't make another video about this game unless something amazing happens, like player-owned bases maybe, or more types of worlds to discover, or more exciting gameplay overall, with maybe less wait or less travel time required as well. But quite frankly, I really doubt that this will ever happen. In the meantime, if you haven't done so, I invite you to check out my main channel, which is about Star Citizen, and you will see that I'm having a blast playing this wonderful game every day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to please like the video and subscribe to see more gaming content. This has been the Eradicator. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later.